All right, good morning, guys. Back at it with another MLB DFS slate. Yesterday didn't go as well as we wanted it to, but you know, we've been doing pretty well decently. So, I mean, taking this L isn't terrible. I think this was the first time we've rostered Braxton Garrett, and it's probably the last, unless he plays Oakland. Jordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker each hit a nuke. Everyone else did okay. Kind of needed a little more from like Seager, Bregman, Monasterio, if I say his name right. If we would have gotten something from them, we probably would have cashed. We were pretty much like riding the line up until like the Rangers game started, and it just went downhill from there. But any takeaways from yesterday from you?
Once Garrett started getting a little shaky in the first inning, I figured our slate was pretty much already over. Finished with 27, which is like meh, but it didn't help that Nola at like 35% had basically 70, and Snell at a similar price tag ended up getting 52 after we continued to clown him. Uh, Cubs, you know, just another team that either drops 0 or 10, kind of like the Mets. Um, And then to top it off, the guy I clowned yesterday, Trey Turner, at 25% ownership just because he has every single slate had a 50 piece. So that's enough to bury you right there. The other Phillies guys kind of got there too. Real Muto, Castellanos, both like 20%, whatever. I wasn't really on the Phillies all that much. I mean, I understood it. I just didn't like them at the ownership. Other than that, pitching was a letdown. And then the Rangers as a whole were a pretty big letdown. Seager didn't really get there. Low was Mag. Garcia had three. Just not going to cut it on a big slate like that, especially when you had chalk smashing. I think the line got up to like 160 something. So just was no way we were touching that.
Yeah, that's the issue with the smaller slates. It was like okay, but compared to today, that was a small slate. It's kind of like you have to pick the right pieces or just hope that one of your one off or your low owned guys goes for like 40 and just pray that you get there. But we got a bigger slate today. Kind of interesting. I would say pitcher isn't super interesting, but the stacks are in terms of leverage and stuff. So let's just jump into pitcher. So it's got Gausman, Keller, Musgrove, Peralta, Clark Schmidt, Hunter Brown, Logan Gilbert. Then the rest of these guys really don't matter. But you got Gausman at 14%, Musgrove at 20, which I find insane. Peralta 13, Schmidt 15. It makes sense against my White Sox. Where are you thinking? Is it you could get a little different here, but I don't
I
know.
mean, it's really tough, honestly. Gaussman and Keller probably project fairly similarly, which is why their ownership is about the same. But if they're both going to be like 10 to 12%, basically the same, I'm just going to take Keller in more hopes of for the win percentage. He's like minus 270, I think, or something on along those lines. And Toronto's only like minus 140. So I'd like Keller a bit more than Gaussman. It's very close though. And then Gaussman's probably second. And then you get down to the range you just don't really want to talk about. Um, Freddie Peralta at like 15%, no thanks. Musgrove at 20%, again, just like I don't love the ownership there. I like him more than Freddie, but if Musgrove's gonna be 20% on this big of a slate, I think I might as well just go somewhere else. Schmidt, who we always clown, is in a great matchup, 7,700. If you want to pay up for like the Dodgers bats today, I get it. Uh, He's coming in around 15% as well. Probably a good chance to win. I think they were minus 150 when I checked. That's a fair ownership share, I guess. Hunter Brown, he kind of screwed us the last time, but I can see him at like 5% ownership, or I mean, it's projecting 1% ownership, but I can see him getting there like 3 or 4 or 5%. I can see him having a decent day. I think that's just like a pitcher game. Maybe he can get 6, 8Ks, something like that. Just hope for the win. Logan Gilbert on the other side of that Mitch Keller matchup, tough. Oh wait, no, sorry, Musgrove. Um, Decent leverage, I would say. He's giving 4% leverage here. If the Seattle Bats can get to Musgrove, you're like double leveraging that because you also have Gilbert getting the win. So that would be nice. So he's in contention. Bieber, no thanks. Giolito, definitely not. Elder, I looked at him. His K props at 4.5 at 10K. Just I'd rather not. Um, Paxton against Cleveland. I wish he was like $500 cheaper. Gibson, no. Dunning, no. Yeah, pretty much no one below that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with kind of like you mentioned with Keller and Gosman. Gosman is like a Cy Young candidate. He's been insane this year. The issue becomes is he's playing the Astros, and he's only a minus 135 or minus 140 favorite, whereas Mitch Keller, you pay 200 more, way better matchup, projected to be a little bit less owned, minus 270 favorites, and I think their K prop is like around the same, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you know, take the better matchup. That's kind of why I like Keller today. You know what's gonna happen. We're just gonna clown Musgrove and he's gonna go for 70. So might have to build a separate lineup and just throw Musgrove in there. I don't I understand it kind of. Seattle's been kind of bad recently, but 20% on a humongous ass slate, no. Peralta, I kind of understand with Baltimore, but we were talking about this when we first like started recording. Baltimore can get hot, so don't take that chance there. Clark Schmidt against the White Sox. The White Sox have been hot. That's literally my only reason. I understand it, and the Yankees should get the win just because of the Yankees and Judge has been on a tear. But the White Sox just swept the Tigers like that's any sort of achievement because it's the freaking Tigers. But I don't know. There's something that's, as a White Sox fan, I'm trying to believe that they're going to continue this win streak, even though it probably ends today. Hunter Brown, he has a one slate ban from us, but I don't even think we're gonna play him. Everyone else is kind of just don't play, or if you have big balls, just fucking try. I don't know. I can understand Schmidt, kind of like you were saying, going if you want to get the Dodgers bats, but you would just have to hope that Schmidt can go 6 and get the win, which I don't think is impossible because we've clowned him in the past and he's gone crazy. But yeah, moral of the story: go Mitch Keller. Everyone else is kind of okay, but that's
I
all
will
I got.
say I was looking at this graphic the other day, and they were showing like the most strikeouts in the AL, and Seattle has like 5 of the top 8 guys or something. It's like Teoscar, Suarez,
I
Rodriguez,
saw that.
Kalenic. Just I get the Musgrove ownership. I just wish it wasn't 20% on a what is it like a 12 gamer. If he was down like 10, 15, I like it a lot more.
Well, there's some analytics. If you want to go 20% Musgrove, go for it. He's got the strikeout upside on his side. All right, now for stacks. So right now it's got San Fran, Dodgers, Arizona, Colorado, Atlanta, Texas, Pittsburgh, and the list goes on and on and on. So everyone and their mother is going to be going to San Fran. But give me your take.
I mean, from the ownership share that it's projecting, they're really not, and it's because they're just so bad. But also, Course is projecting fairly well on Ballpark Pal today. I mean, it usually does, but like a plus 20% run creation percentage, which is fairly decent on a slate like this. I get the Giants. I don't like their tags. Obviously, they got increased because they're in Course. You have to pay like mid threes for all these guys, and some of them are questionable. I'm assuming they'll play, but get Estrada back. He was on the IL for 10 days. He's 4K though. That's pretty steep, especially at second base. Then you got like Yastrzemski, Haniger, Wade. I guess I would prioritize those guys, but I don't love them more than I love the Dodgers. I think I tried to fiddle around with Keller and some of the Dodgers, and it's literally impossible. I mean, all the Dodgers guys you want are 4K. So you're gonna have to do like a 3-man max, or you could do a 4-man and do like a bottom of the order type guy from the Dodgers, but you're not fitting for the 4K guys and Keller or Gaussman. So I think that's why Musgrove is also gaining that ownership and Schmidt, because you can play, the Giants bats and the Dodgers bats and whoever you want really. So it just depends if you really trust the stack enough to get there for you, or if you want the safe 40 or 45 from Keller. I tend to think the Dodgers don't score less than 5 today, but I could be wrong. So I think I might prioritize them. Arizona's interesting against Irvin. I usually like playing them. I mean, just some fun guys to watch. They love to steal bags. I like them. Rockies, I don't love. They have good leverage percentage, so I mean, you can go for that. Probably not a priority for me though. Some other teams I wrote down were the Rangers again. Let us down yesterday. Cubs are sort of interesting against Tyler Anderson. We usually like to pick on him a little bit after dropping 0 yesterday. Hopefully they can just turn it around. Last team I would mention maybe Yanks. Who are they facing? Giolito. Yeah. I can see a couple power guys getting there from them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, San Francisco at Colorado makes sense. Colorado against Mania. Mania hasn't been that great, so you can. Their leverage is actually pretty good at 4%. Really, San Fran and Colorado, their leverage is good at 4%. Texas against Libertor, I believe is his last name. He's some like kind of young rookie pitcher. This 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 can be a good spot for Texas to put up some runs against him. Atlanta against Carrasco. Almost anytime Carrasco pitches, he gives up a bunch of hits and a lot of power. So I like that as well. I will say the Angels versus this Wesneski kid. He's been okay, but nothing crazy. So the Angels are a little interesting. Obviously, the Pirates against Oakland, go for it. It pains me to say Yankees versus Giolito. Gio had like 2 or 3 like semi pretty good starts where he only gave up like 1 or 2, and he hasn't looked like that since. So definitely could get to some Yankees there. Cubs against Tyler Anderson. Yeah. St. Louis versus Dane Dunning. That's a little interesting. He's got some heat, but I mean it's St. Louis, and St. Louis should be better than what their record says. So I mean, I kind of understand that. But That's kind of it. I'm like scrolling through to see if there's anything else, but there really isn't. You want to do home runs and then generator?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, go ahead.
Gonna go a Dodger first, of course. Gonna go Max Muncy. Usually pulls through for me. And then the OG legend, Patrick Wisdom. He's our GOAT. And then Corey Seager after he let us down yesterday.
Wisdom is not mine, but sure. I'm gonna go JD Martinez. He's been hot. I'm gonna go Chris Morel, who is kind of due for a home run, even though he's hit a home run in like almost every game he's played. And then I'm gonna go Ryan McMahon. Those are my three for today. So now let's do lineup generator.
I'm
So we're gonna
interested to
do.
see what pitcher it throws out.
Oh, me too.
We can go all stack types first. And then balance should be fine.
You want to lock Keller, or do you want to just skip this just to see what it spits out?
Let's skip and then discard some and see what it gives us if Keller is put in. Freddie and 600 remaining salary. I didn't really look at Pittsburgh all that much.
They're cheap. It's against Oakland. It makes sense, but this is pretty in that optimal area, and it's not as chalky actually.
Gave you some Dodgers too.
Yeah, Loki, Peralta,
Freddie.
Freddie. This isn't that bad if I'm being honest, and it's not as chalky with Key Brian Hayes there, Peralta, the goat Sawinski.
Mookie at 25% is pretty scary.
That is pretty scary. That means he's gonna drop like 95 like Adolis Garcia did that one day. Mm. I actually don't mind this that much. I don't really like Freddie all that much, but it's interesting. And that's obviously when you click balance and you click all. So let's just say it holds up to 20. So we have we have 40, what does that say? 46 or 45.
45.
My yeah, our faces are covering it. So yeah, this is just what it shows. So we're getting a lot of freaking Pittsburgh, and then you just go down the line, see who you have exposure to, and then it saves every lineup, and then you can export it to a CSV. So then that way you're not hand building lineups, but just something just in case. Very quick Pick'em Pro. You know what? I'm gonna do a refresh just to see if they updated anything. Nice. All right, hold on. So now I gotta log in again. All right. So Pick'em Pro. You know, you have the NBA and NHL here, but isn't the game tomorrow? Kevin Love
Honestly,
under.
don't know.
I think it's tomorrow, but you know, they drop them early for you to see. But
Yeah, it is
Tyler
tomorrow.
Anderson is the best play as it looks like right now. It's 60% under 4.5 strikeouts. A lot of unders today. You know, it's never fun betting unders, but I mean, you might as well do it. And then you just scroll through the line and just see what you like. I already posted one on Twitter, but it's Taco Tuesday. So, and you can also check out Underdog, No House Advantage. It's, you know, categorized by that. So definitely worth looking into. All right, wrap us up.
Yeah,
Any final
just
thoughts?
just
Sorry.
a massive slate. You know, nothing really jumps out right now except for Dodgers, Giants, of course, maybe some Rangers, and Braves look to gain a little bit of ownership I think I'd rather just play the Dodgers at those similar price tags. Pitching is kind of mudded. If you want to play the top guys, you're going to have to play the scrubs. Doesn't feel good on a slate like this, but we'll drop our lineup about 10 minutes before lock. Make sure to check that out and check out Stochastic's tools in our description, and like and subscribe if you haven't already.